Breaking tonight with just a little more than a month to the Iowa caucuses, Senator Ted Cruz is drawing a whole new level of attention. We showed you the surge in recent polling at the top of the hour, and some of that may be thanks to some recent endorsements Cruz has received. And now we're hearing that Ted Cruz is about to get a whole lot more support from a group of more than 50 top conservatives in this country, brought together by Family Research Council President Tony Perkins. Tony Perkins is our guest tonight. All right, Tony, so I know that you're not at liberty to really tell us exactly what happened, so I will just tell the viewers, and then you tell us what you can tell us. Tony, back in 2013, decided to try to rally the conservative base to say we got to have some control, some power in these elections. So we got a lot of faith leaders and a lot of conservative leaders together, and they had a powwow in which they had to take these ballots. And only if they could get to a supermajority would they throw their support against behind a candidate. And they had, according to the reports, a couple of votes, and Senator Ted Cruz and Marco Rubio were like this, and Ted Cruz won, and now one by one, you're going to start to see conservative leaders come out for Ted Cruz. So he's not going to confirm any of that for us now. However, what do you think of Ted Cruz?
Well, Megyn, as you said, I'm not going to comment on private conversations that may or may not have taken place. I'll just say this to your listeners and viewers, that if and when I make an endorsement, they can watch it right here. But I will say this, what we're seeing happening is that, look at the two leading candidates in this race. They are those who refuse to be restrained by political correctness. They're speaking to the issues that resonate with the American people, and it's being reflected in the polls. I will say, as you watch Ted Cruz as he's kind of climbing the ladder of the polls, one of the issues, in addition to national security, that he is addressing is the issue of religious liberty. He's been talking about that issue across the country. It was interesting, a new poll out today by Rasmussen says that is like 82% of parents with kids of school age think we should celebrate Christmas in our schools. 62% believe we should have more religion in our public schools. This is an issue that is very latent in this election. Some candidates are missing it, but Ted Cruz is touching it, and I think it's being reflected in his support in the polls among evangelicals.
Just as an aside, it's a crazy world in which we live when you have your kids, your preschoolers, your kindergartners doing drills where they have to hide in bathrooms and so on as a drill so that they don't get shot. That's what they have to do, but they're not allowed to say Merry Christmas or acknowledge God. And that's in 2015 America.
It is, and people are tired of that. How else do you explain Donald Trump doing so well in these polls? It's because he's saying what so many Americans are thinking. But as they come closer to making a decision about who they're going to pull the lever for, they want somebody that has a track record on these issues, and they start looking at the candidates and they see who's not just talking about them, but who has done those things. So I think that's one of the reasons you see Ted Cruz growing in support among evangelicals and other conservatives.
We saw Trump take a shot at Ted Cruz over the weekend as follows. Listen to this.
I do like Ted Cruz, but not a lot of evangelicals come out of Cuba, in all fairness. It's true. Not a lot come out.
Clearly this is sort of like a dog whistle to evangelicals of, he's not really one of you. You think they're going to buy that?
Well, I don't think so. Because, I think Ted Cruz not only speaks the language, he understands evangelicals because he really comes from their ranks. But let me say this about Donald Trump. I think there's some who think he's some kind of political mirage, and I think that's a mistake. I think you can see the tangible evidence that he's real by the support that he's getting. I think it's amazing to watch Donald Trump. I think he's one of the best politicians in the field. He says he's not a politician, but he captures the attention of the public, and he's really playing the media like a fiddle. I think Donald Trump is one that we've got to watch very carefully. I think it's going to be up to him and Ted Cruz, I believe, as to who gets the nomination in this go-round.
Getting interesting. Tony, it's great to see you, and we look forward to hearing that endorsement when you're ready to make it public.
All right, Megyn. I'll be here.
You heard it right here. You will hear it only on the Kelly File first.